Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is a video I never thought I'd be making. I didn't feel it would be right to go on with our regularly scheduled video without paying tribute to Brodie Lee. On December 26th, all of the wrestling world was devastated to find out that Jon Huber, aka Brodie Lee, or Luke Harper, had passed away of a lung issue. We don't yet know if it was a long-term illness or something new, but the words just can't describe how painful and surreal it has been for the business and fans. Brodie Lee was an extraordinary performer and is irreplaceable. First, showing up on our screens as Luke Harper as part of the acclaimed Wyatt family gimmick, to joining AEW as the exalted one of the Dark Order, Mr. Brodie Lee. He's had quite the career, even though people believe that he was a mountain of untapped potential. I can only imagine that the loss of Jon Huber has hit his family and friends in an unimaginable, soul-crushing way, because as a fan, I'm at a loss for words. Today, we're going to talk about some of the memorable moments of Brodie Lee that are my favorite. A former Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion, and TNT Champion. He's had some extraordinary matches, and some of the top were Luke Harper versus John Cena, Harper versus Goldust, Harper versus Daniel Bryan. They were underrated and brilliant, all of them. Bryan would casually do 30 plus minutes in a handicap match against Harper and Rowan, and they just beat the living hell out of each other, all for weekly television. One of his best matches was against Dolph Ziggler, in a ladder match at TLC 2014 for the Intercontinental belt. Harper was the champion at the time, and Ziggler was in the middle of his eternal struggle just to get on the card. It was the first match on the main card, and those two brought the house down. Ziggler bumped like a madman, and Harper perfectly played his part as the big, strong dude that could also take flight. Many thought that he had broke his arm on that suicide dive, and Ziggler wound up winning the title. That night, Luke Harper's popularity started to grow. The rest of the show fell flat after that match. Two guys from the undercard absolutely destroying themselves, putting on a performance that was so good, it ruined the rest of the show. This is a testament to how powerful it was. Harper also played a huge part in the Wyatts putting on a great show in 2013 and 2014, whether it was on TV, pay-per-view, or anywhere else. Everybody remembers the pay-per-view matches against the Usos, even the hastily thrown together 6 to 8 man tags versus combinations of the Usos. The Rhodes brothers and Daniel Bryan were phenomenal every week. Luke and company would kill it on weekly SmackDowns. His AEW run was only 6 months, but in that short amount of time, it was amazing. From the debut promo, all of those great videos building his character, and the awesome match versus Moxley, the legendary BTE skits, the epic title win versus Cody, and finally, the dog collar match. Watching those videos really give you a glimpse of why he was so popular out of the ring. The dog collar match he had with Cody was incredible. By the end of it, the two put on such a great match that everyone watching couldn't help but respect both of them and be fine of however it ended. It was an unbelievable run. Brodie easily gave Cody his best match on AEW after the Dustin match. Brodie coming out after winning the TNT belt with all the lawnmowers was just legendary. Watching those videos really give you a glimpse of why he was so popular out of the ring. It's not known what went wrong for him in WWE in the last year, where we saw him mostly frozen out, other than Vince McMahon not wanting to push him when he was hot. But there was an obvious period where they did believe in him. And perhaps the biggest sign of that was the Bludgeon Brothers beating the Usos and New Day to win SmackDown tag titles at Wrestlelamia 34. They won the belts and beat the biggest tag team in the company. Both had a lot of injuries after being called up with the Wyatt family. But something else must have happened to have the WWE sour to Harper. There's so much to appreciate from every era of Brodie Lee. And if you haven't already, you should catch up on all of Brodie's best work so it doesn't go unappreciated. On AEW Unrestricted, we heard him talk about how he always wanted to do a dog collar match. And when he gave the idea and everyone went with it, he was shocked. I think it's actually poetic that his last match was one that he had always wanted to do. And we can all agree it was one of the best. He also said that he left a piece of him in the ring that night. And I feel like it was given to all of his fans watching. When he was on Talk is Jericho, he mentioned that he felt a pressure to live up to his reputation now that he was at AEW, after years of being held back and believing he could have done more. If given the chance, he no longer would have any excuses. He'd have to seize the day, or accept that he wasn't any good. However, he did seize the day. He was really good. I don't think that he had a bad match at AEW, which only shows what the wrestling world has lost when we lost Brodie. I'd also like to take this last moment to say that while his career was incredibly entertaining, and he never ceased to amaze us, this is not the only aspect of his life that should be remembered. He was also a husband, and more importantly than anything else, he was a wonderful father to his 2 sons. He will be remembered for so many things, and I know that I will absolutely feel a void on Wednesday nights. And I think that we should all thank the Huber family for sharing John with all of us. So that's it for today's video, guys. I wish it was something a little more upbeat, but I just didn't feel like I could not pay tribute to Brodie Lee. So leave a comment down below with some of your best memories of Brodie Lee, whether he was Luke Harper or John Huber. But that's it, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.